Okay, so for this problem, we have 3 points, and we want to find the equation of a circle that passes through all three. Now, your picture may look like my picture here, where you can only see 2 points. If you grab the screen and drag it over, you can see the third point if need be. Should look otherwise just like your app down below. Now, when we talk about having an equation, that means we need to have a graph. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put this on a graph. And so you're going to right-click on your screen on the Chromebook, or it's Alt-click or the two-finger click, and just somewhere on the blank screen and select Show Axes, so we have a graph. Then you're going to do it again and select Show Grid, and we just want the major grid lines. It's counting by ones. So now we have our points on a graph. So we can have a graph of a circle, and once we have the graph of a circle, we can write an equation that gives us write an equation that matches the circle. So the rest of the problem is done the same way as the previous problem, where we're going to draw a triangle to connect the dots and put in the perpendicular bisectors. So you'll use the polygon tool to draw on a triangle to connect these dots, and then you're going to use the perpendicular bisector tool. Now, I don't want to do this. I don't want to show the circle myself, so this is as much of your problem as I'm going to do. I'm going to put up a different one in a second. Okay, now my picture looks different from yours. I've drawn a different triangle, but I'm going to do the same thing, so you can use it as a guide. You will not have the same numbers or measurements as what I have on my screen. My screen is just a guide for what you would put on yours. But anyway, you should have connected the 3 dots with the triangle, and then what we're going to do is we are going to find the perpendicular bisector for each side. So we find the perpendicular bisector tool and click on the 3 sides of the triangle, and if we did it right, all those sides should meet at the same point. Brilliant. That means that point is the center of the circle that touches all 3 points in our triangle. So now we can go over to the circle tool, click on that center point, and then if you click on any one of the other 3 points, it should actually hit all 3. So now I've got all 3 points for my circle. So this is the circle. Now the last step here is we're going to want to come up with the equation for this circle. Let's clean this up first. So what I really want is the equation of this red circle. Now my picture is really crowded here, but for the equation of the circle, we need to know the center. So I'm going to go find the center of my circle. It's at -3, +3. So that's the center of my circle. And then I'm going to just count out the radius. I'm going to just count the distance here, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the number is. And then you're going to go to the problem below here, and you're just going to fill in the blanks. So in my case, I'd have, since my radius is 5 or 6 or whatever, I'd have 6 or 5 squared, whatever my number is equal to x minus, and I give the x coordinate for the center, squared, plus y minus, and I give the y coordinate for the center of the circle. So you should just have to put numbers. You should be putting in all positive numbers in the equation, but you're just going to fill in the blanks in that equation on the bottom of the page.